I'm Tiffany Shawn, an educator in county public schools. I've been teaching for about 16 years now. Mom of two little ones and a member of Delta Sigma Theta as well. So you tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hello, Tiffany, and Friendly Temple as a whole. Hello, everybody. I'm Mikel Whitter, born and raised in St. Louis. Since we rep it a little bit, member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. My background is healthcare leadership. I work for an organization called St. Louis Integrated Health Network, where we work on access to healthcare for people who are medically underserved. I specifically help those who are in frequent contact with our local criminal justice system get access to healthcare, social resources, and other things that they need to live a well life. So it's one of those things where I'm just glad and privileged to be able to do what I do, especially because it's my community, it's my loved ones that are affected by all of this. So it's pretty cool to do what I do.
Nice. With that position, what's like a goal that you have, set for yourself?
For myself, I typically don't have goals for myself. Healthcare is a little bit different, where it's all based on the people you serve. And so, in an ideal setting, my goal is that nobody is incarcerated because of mental health needs, or because of substance use needs, or because they're homeless, or because they're dealing with a socioeconomic problem, or they don't have the ability to pay for bail. Like, all of these things shouldn't exist. And so it's really criminal justice transformation through public health lens. A lot of the cries for defunding the police is something that I've been working towards well before that was popular. And so ultimately, I want to see increased investment regionally in the systems that need the most. Over the last 20 years, we've seen an exponential decrease in funding to public health and human services. While public safety has increased, the police department has been exponentially increased in funding that they get from tax dollars, and the outcomes aren't any better. And so we need to figure out ways that are practical to get people the help that they need while also keeping our communities safe. And if people can't be healthy, if people can't have the opportunity to thrive, then none of our communities are safe. And so getting to the very core of what public safety is, what it means to have a safe and thriving community. And that's really my goal. And personally, I want to grow and learn in between. And the challenges that this work presents gives me a lot of opportunities to grow and learn and take on new challenges and really get new insight, perspective, and be up to date on innovative things kind of happening across the world in criminal justice and healthcare reform.
I love that that's something being focused on because it is so necessary right now.
Focus, that might be a stretch, but
Well, I love
there.
that it's something your group, your company is focusing on.
Well, and the thing is we are a network of organizations, so it's not just us. The next door neighbor right there to Family Temple, CARE STL, formerly Murder Hilliard Davis, is a partner, a part of our network. We have been working extensively to get them or to work with them to address some of the inequities that exist um, in care delivery and COVID specifically. So we see that COVID-19 has really shined a light on the racial implications that are transpiring in our care delivery across the country. And we're working to address that. We firmly believe that you cannot have health equity without racial equity. So there's certainly a social justice component to our work. My CEO is also a member of Delta Sigma Theta.
Great woman.
And she's absolutely fantastic. And she has led a lot of work in the region to address some of the racial inequities dating back well before the work in Ferguson, but she was appointed Ferguson Commission the acting director of the Ferguson Commission back after Mike Brown was killed. So a lot of the things that came up out of Ferguson is things that we have integrated in our work to advance healthcare change so that people can get what they need. And so this is really what gets me passionate. This is what really gets me motivated to wake up in the morning and share my testimony and story, and really just privileged to be able to do so.
Oh, that's amazing. What role would you say your faith has played in your experience in accomplishing these goals with your network?
Man, faith is everything. And with Dr. Mike Jones now, love Mike. I was just with him on a work event today talking about the personal safety of Black boys. And I grew up right down the street from Family Temple in Wellston. My family founded a church right in Walnut Park, Emmanuel Temple, Church of God. And so understanding the dynamics in those two communities as a Black man is something that I not only had to navigate for my own personal safety, but also I had to navigate not knowing what the future holds and not knowing what's around the corner, not knowing if it's going to be the police or if it's going to be, someone trying to commit a crime, whatever the case may be. We see these random acts kind of happening all over the place. And you have to navigate that with faith. But then, beyond growing, when you get into your professional career, there isn't any personal safety for Black men and women there either. There's no psychological safety to express how we feel about different things that should come up, like systemic racism in the workplace, or even just advocating for people that look like us and promoting change. It's difficult. And so you have to lean into your faith. You have to lean into what you believe. You have to lean into your Christian values. You have to be unwavering. You have to know that change doesn't necessarily come easily, but it'll come when you need it. It'll be right on time. So it's
They add all those taglines in.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just you have to lead from a place of faith, a place of hope that we do have a future that is promised. Because if we don't, then we're going to spiral downward into the darkness that a community like St. Louis can put up on us. The trauma that we see, depression, anxiety, people dying from drug overdoses, gun violence, our babies being slain in the street. It's easy to get wrapped up into all of that. And without faith, without hope, without perseverance, without just the utmost belief that that there is a better future, then we get stuck in complacency and where we are. And if anything shows us that in history is the plight of Black people in this country. And so we have to continue to lead with faith, lead with the understanding that there is a better tomorrow, because our ancestors fought, Tiffany. They fought hard, and we have to continue that fight.
I agree. And we have to believe, we have to have that hope and then put the work in to make it happen as well.
Certainly.
Yep. Considering your background, you shared, where you've been, where you've come from, where you're trying to go to. What kind of advice would you give? And I guess I'm going to say specifically to younger Black men who are also trying to be on this path of helping their community. What kind of advice would you have to them in trying to make that work for them?
Certainly. I think this can apply to anyone. And so our can't forget about our Black girls.
Of course.
And I know you know that. But I think for us specifically, you have to understand how to navigate professional relationships. Things get very political. And so you have to be able to advocate for yourself. You have to be able to speak up when it's difficult to do so, when trying to point out things for change. And you have to be willing to just understand that might be met with resistance. And so you have to do it from a place of being truly authentic and genuine, but then also making sure you have the right things in mind. And when you do that, you can really accomplish anything. But those relationships matter. The having purpose matters. And so outside of navigating just the politics of life, the next thing is just knowing your why. Knowing your purpose. If you don't know your purpose, then you kind of get stuck with trying to figure out what and how you're doing things. And so you can go to YouTube. It's a video by Simon Sinek, TED Talk called "The Golden Circles Are Know Your Why," and he talks about how businesses that really excel know their why. Know their purpose, and no matter what the how and what is, they'll always provide value to their customers. And so similarly, you can adopt that personally. And when you know your why, when you're grounded in your faith, there's nothing that can be able to stop you. But in order to truly do that and do it well and navigate those relationships to the best of your ability, you have to know that purpose. You have to keep that at the center. And when you do that, the sky's the limit.
I love that. That's so true. What are ways that people can connect with you? Because there might be some people listening to this thinking, oh my goodness, he's saying some good stuff. I need to know more. I need to do what he's doing or see how I can help. How can they connect with you?
Certainly. You can find me anywhere. I'm not hard to find. I'm probably 1 degree of separation from everybody in the congregation. My late grandfather was a member of Friendly Temple. God rest his soul. But Mikel Whittier, MikelWhittier on Facebook, Mike_Witt on Instagram, Mike_WHITT. First name, last name, last name at gmail.com if you want to shoot me an email. Dr. Mike Jones, man, I've known him for quite some time, playing basketball, and him and his fraternity brothers, and being connected to them as part of the D9 and moving work forward for the region, and a bunch of other organizations. It's just we're all here, and so if anybody ever needs anything, please don't hesitate to reach out or ask somebody. LinkedIn as well, you can find me there, because I always just want to help and give back wherever I can, especially if it's to impart hope and motivation into the next generation. I'm a firm believer we need to pour into our children. We need to pour into the next generation for us to really be successful. And we have the means to do that now. Technology has allowed for us to do that a little bit easier. Or easily, and so I want to be able to do that and really be one of those advocates for the next generation. So if there's any kids, young men, young women want to reach out, I need somebody to talk to, please don't ever hesitate to reach out on any platform. Want to make sure we can support you, and if I can't do it, I know somebody that can. And if they can't do it, we just gonna pray on it.
So you can always go back to prayer.
We'll get it done.
All right. Well, on behalf of Friendly Temple Youth Ministry, thank you so much for your time.
No problem. And again, it's an honor and a privilege. I hope everybody is doing well. Continue to be safe, socially distanced. Wear your mask, wash your hands. I know that the time is troublesome, but we're going to get through this. And there's organizations like mine, like CARE STL, next door to Friendly Temple, that are doing the work. It just takes time. It takes a little patience, and it takes faith, and we're going to push through. But yeah, keep your school at the center, and keep trying to have some resemblance of a normal, and we're going to get through this.